Hello, I'm Adrian. So this video is teaching about the strength and conditioning training for futsal. And I have other teammates who are Ho and Victor. So the first part when it comes up will be the physical and physiological demands of futsal. So for the energy system utilization, as futsal is an anaerobic multiple sprinting sport, so the portion of time that a futsal player performing a high intensity speed will be greater than a soccer player or a basketball player. So this data is come from a journal. So secondly, for the distance covered with different speed, and other journals tells us for the professional futsal player, there will have a 13.7% of their total distance in a game will be performing a high intensity speed, which means the player's speed will over 15 kilometers per hour. And even there will have 8.9% of their total distance will be performing maximum sprinting. So which means this player speed is over 25 kilometers per hour. So thirdly, we may go to the work to rest ratio. So some journals tells us that the work to rest ratio of a futsal player will approximately be 1:1. So work, which means the time that a player performing a medium speed running, a high intensity speed running, or a maximum speed running. It will define as work. And rest will be defined as the time that a player performing a stationary, performing a slow walking or slow jogging.
Hello, I'm Ho, and I'm going to talk about the common injury part. At first, I may tell you futsal is the top 10 injury-prone sports with an incidence rate 55.2% per 10,000 hours. The injury rate of the futsal player is 2.7 times more than the footballer. Moreover, the men's injury rate is slightly higher than the women's. On the other hand, the journal shows the common injury in futsal is only focused on lower limbs, and it has ankle sprain, knee injury such as ACL, MCL, and LCL injuries, and thigh injury which has quadriceps, hamstring, and adductors, and which has muscle strain, muscle cramp, muscle rupture, and muscle contusions. And that's all common injuries sustained in futsal. Thank you.
High-intensity sprinting or running always happen in the futsal match. When we are talking about the biomechanics in sprinting or running, first thing we need to understand is the gait cycle. The cycle starts when one foot makes contact with the ground and ends with the same foot make contact with the ground again. And it can be divided up to two phases, the start phase and the swing phase. For start phase, it includes 4 stages. They are initial contact, barking, mid-stand, and propulsion. Initial contact represents the moment when your front leg is about to touch the ground. The body is performing the knee flexion, hip flexion, and ankle dorsiflexion during this stage. Barking is followed by the initial contact immediately. By performing the knee flexion and ankle dorsiflexion to absorb the impact force and ready for the acceleration. The mid-stand stage happens when the knee and the ankle are in the maximal flexed angle, same as the barking stage. At this moment, the body weight is supported by the left leg. The last stage is propulsion. At this stage, you try to drive yourself forward by fully extend the hip, knee, and ankle. The swing phase is followed by toe off, and it happens immediately. The leg will travel as far as the back and the heel start to lift toward your backside. At this moment, the hip and the knee is performing the flexion, but after that, the hip will change into the extension, ready for another heel strike. Kicking is one of the important skills in futsal, in which players strike the ball with their foot, and 6 stages are involved in the kick. They are the approach angle, the playing foot force, the swing limb loading, the swinging phase, ball contact, and follow through. The first is the approach angle, which means the kickers run up to the ball. The second stage is the plant foot force, which involves situating the supporting foot at a distant lateral to kick the ball. And the leg stage, the swing limb loading, is happening at this moment as well by swinging the right leg backward. Knee flexion and hip extension is happening during this period. Then the leg will performing the opposite movement from stage 3, which is the knee extension and hip flexion to swing the leg forward to generate power to kick the ball. Ball contact is describing the moment when your foot is contact with the ball. Knee extension, hip flexion, and ankle plantar flexion can be found during this stage. The last stage is follow through. The kicker should try to keep their foot in contact with the ball as long as they can. At this stage, the kicker is performing the knee flexion, the hip flexion, and also the plantar flexion. For the strength trainings for official, squat is one of the best exercises for official players because it's a major focus on the lower body strength and it is the most functional movement pattern we do. By doing the squat exercise, the lower body muscle including the quadricep, gluteus maximus, adductors, soleus can be strengthened. Those muscles can help to generate support and leads to increased performance of shooting, sprinting, and tackling. To perform the squat correctly, we start with the shoulder width standing position. Then sit back. Make sure your butt is going backward instead of just bending your knee. Be careful to make your knee in line with your toes. Don't let them curve in. Lastly, keep your head in the neutral position and the upper back should remain straight all the time. Inhale when you go down and exhale when you go up. The coach should monitoring all poses to make sure that they are doing it right. Also, the weight can be added for the advanced athlete.
For the speed exercise, it can see that there has a 6 cones on the court. The distance of straight line should be about 20 meters and the diagonal line should be about 30 meters. The player should use 25% of maximum speed to finish the straight line, such as running from cone 1 to cone 2 or cone 3 to cone 4. The player should use 100% of maximum speed to finish the diagonal line, such as the cone 2 to cone 3 or cone 4 to cone 5. The purpose of the exercise is to increase acceleration speed and the coordinations. It is because the players need to adapt the feeling from jogging change to full speed. During the match, the player always have to jogging to observe the situations and suddenly make a full speed to make a defense or an offense. For the defense, player needs to have speed to prevent a quick attack to avoid the opponent's team faster than the players, that it can avoid the opponent's team to score. For the offense, running faster than the opponent's team when receiving a long pass can get a great opportunity to score. Since the level of physical capacity can be a factor to influence the performance of the players, speed is a highly decisive component for a good performance during a match. Therefore, speed is important for the players to win the match. The coaching point for this exercise is to keep jogging on the straight line but not try to walk. It is because it may hard to use the full speed when you are walking and change to the diagonal line. Moreover, it should always try to use the fastest time to cover the distance, and it can help the player to increase the speed.
So here is the instruction of the agility training of futsal. So the player have to start at the starting point, then run towards the ball and start stepping on it. So the stimulus will given by the coach randomly. It means the coach will point at the left side, right side, or backward. So the coach will given the order by verbal and also point at the side that he or she wants you to go. And then player have to pass the ball to the coach before react to the stimulus or the order. So After that, turn to the way that the coach wants you to go immediately. And then finally, run with full speed until the gap between the cones. So here's the coaching point of this training. As coach will give out the order or the stimulus by verbally and also by movement. So players should be very concentrating to hear the sound made by the coach. And also players' eyes should on coach instead of the ball, as the coach will point at the direction that you have to go. So here's the purpose of the agility training of futsal. So a good agility skills may help you defending and also attacking in a futsal game. So let's start with the defending. A good agility skills may help you to deal with the turnover situation after losing possession. So it means the time that you have just lost the ball, you have to react immediately and do a defense. So this time you may need your agility skills to help you to change of the direction and go. And for the attacking aspects, a good agility skills may help you to deal with the pass and go during the building of an attack. So as futsal is a team sport, so you have to cooperate with your teammates and you have to pass the ball with each other. A good agility skills may help you to do the pass and go. Some journal provides the information that guards, wingers, and pivots has to switch the position anytime. So it means everyone have to involve in the attack or defense, and except the goalkeeper. And it means for the futsal player, they have to be well trained in agility aspects. So it is important for them.